It's Tuesday, everybody, and I want you to hear the hum of the approaching helicopter as I'm walking to the gate to open it. After finding my fourth guinea torn apart and left for dead on the driveway. And at the same time that helicopter drives by, we got a criminal that drives by on the county road. Same time. Perfect timing. Aerial stalking, county road stalking. Synchronicity, precise timing, harassment, all with your tax dollars, to stalk a 67-year-old woman in a rural town. And all the neighbors and county officials are all in on it, taking money under the table. This is why we cannot pass an audit. No, we can't pass an audit in the state. We can't pass an audit in the county. I learned how to balance a checkbook when I was a teenager. And these morons can't balance a checkbook in their 40s and 50s and 60s. But I hope everybody's doing well on this Tuesday, which feels like a Monday. September 2nd. I'm going to say it's September 2nd. I never know what day of the week it is. It's definitely Tuesday. And I woke up to the 4th, witnessing on my property the tearing apart of a fourth guinea. Now I'm going to say that this is not only highly unusual, statistically not possible. Another thing that's statistically not possible is also within the last week, I've had 2 people, drivers, who've delivered to me, ask me if I wanted to sell any of my guineas. I kid you not. And I said, yeah, I said, maybe, I'll get back to you. So in 7 days, 2 people asked me if I would sell my guineas. And within 7 days, 4 of them have been killed. One of them I found torn apart inside the chicken coop. This one out here. My Rooster Snowden here. I was vacuuming in the cat's building. Come out. I hear all the guineas cackling. I didn't really realize what it was because I couldn't see anything until later, and then I look at the feathers, and the feathers are not guinea feathers. And that night, Snowden was not in the coop. Snowden was stolen. No, Snowden was not stolen by an aerial predator. He was stolen by a criminal because another guinea was stolen behind that building, so they can make a getaway onto the county road where they usually have somebody waiting for them. And these are cloaked people. For anybody that doesn't know what cloaking is, it's concealing. It's camouflage. And yes, you can buy these camouflage blankets. And in fact, Harry Potter's even mentioned the cloaking blankets. This is military-grade technology. It's been around for decades. So when anybody says, no, there's no such thing, search on YouTube, and you can look on my channel because I've created a couple of videos about it, because it does in fact happen. And your IR cameras will pick it up at night. And remember, these people, they have to walk, they have to move. And they also possess an aura. Well, no, most of them have dead auras, but you can see it on your cameras. You can see these people moving around and hiding behind things. So yeah, so Snowden, my rooster that I really like a lot, who has a very distinct crow, is gone. 4 guineas and 1 rooster in 7 days. Because the psychosatanists, and yes, I have coined the term psychosatanists, and I'll do another video on it because I did a little research. There's no such word as psychosatanist. So I'm claiming it because these Satanists want to hide behind a quote-unquote religion to get away with all the crimes they commit, saying, but we are a religious organization. We're nonprofits. We're religion. We're a religion. I don't know any God that sanctifies torturing, deleting, harming living things. Living things including trees, grass, animals, humans. Leave a comment down below if you know of a God that thinks that that's okay. Because these Satanists hate all living things. They hate themselves. It's a projection. So yes, I have coined the term psycho-Satanists because they're psychopaths. They have psychological disorders. They have a mental illness problem. And I can't stand that whole terminology of mental illness. These are personality disordered psychopaths prancing around under the guise of a religious organization called Satanism. Make no mistakes, these are criminals, narcissistic, psychopathic, sadistic criminals that think that it's okay to get rid of your animals, your trees, your life, thinking that it's going to improve theirs. So yeah, so I have coined the term psycho-Satanists. And let's hashtag psycho-Satanists, and we'll get it into Wikipedia as a bona fide terminology. Of course, you know, the DSM would never include it as one of their diagnostic statistical criterias because it's against the New World Order, religion, Luciferian Satanists. And also, men and women, boys and girls, don't join Freemasonry. Their god is Lucifer. Their god is the devil. They trick you into believing that you're performing community service and doing all these wonderful things. Meanwhile, all the Masonic whistleblowers have come forward and say that it is the most insidious form of indoctrination. Insidious form of grooming on the planet. And these people need to be annihilated. But anyway, yes, so what is the likelihood of my being aerially stalked at the same time as a local neighbor drives by? What's the statistical probability here in a town of less than 800 people? What is the statistical probability of within 7 days, 4 guineas and 1 rooster to disappear? Right? Between the new moon, the dark of the night, increasing in light into the crescent, all the witches perform their bitchcraft and their sacrifices. So there's my Tuesday morning rant. Actually, I was not even going to have a rant this morning. But also thank you for all the new subscribers. I am so glad that you have found my channel and have found some of the videos useful based upon the things that have been happening in your life. And I will welcome the gentleman who just provided a little bit of a testimony on one of my recent videos that he is a neighbor. He lives in one of the next towns. And this has been happening to him ever since he dated the daughter of a copper. What is the statistical probability of that happening? You either date one, you date a military guy, you date a cop, you date a sheriff. You break up with them, you date their daughter, you date their son, whatever. You break up with them, and then soon you become a targeted individual where entire groups of hateful community sellouts stalk you for profit. So welcome to the channel. And I look forward to your providing your full testimony. And you could email me at alternativehomesteading@gmail.com. Anybody who has a testimony that you would either like for me to read on the channel or have a phone conversation where I record it. I am not set up for Zoom. My laptop is on its last leg. So that's the way I do testimonies for now. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Leave a comment down below if you feel that the term psychosatanist, perhaps we can add it to Wikipedia as a real word, just like we need to talk more about real estate property mobbing. It was originally called blockbusting in the 60s, and it was outlawed under the Civil Rights Act. But these local criminals, all your government officials, they said, hey, we can instead do this to property owners. Because stealing somebody's land and property is so much more fun, so much more profitable than just going after somebody that's living in a rent-controlled apartment. And this is happening across the country, and I highly recommend listening to the testimonies on my channel of Deborah Florian. It's entitled My West Virginia Horror Story. This highly intelligent, successful woman purchased a beautiful home in West Virginia and has documented right now in parts 1 through 12 her transition from having money in the bank, to having to sell her property at a loss, to being homeless, working her butt off at Macy's, and be stalked by local government and property developers, just like here in Jackson County, Kentucky. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now, get to my mailbox, open the gate here. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And even though they sprayed the skies for the last 2 days, it doesn't feel like it's going to rain. I heard and it was weird last night, I heard thunder booms in the sky. But then I realized that there was no lightning. I just heard booms in the sky, and it's because it's electrified. The sky's electrified, and they sprayed all that garbage across my property. So, of course, at night, after I saw the 2 drones crossing my property last night, I saw the 2 drones crossing the property, I saw these electrified booms. It sounded like thunder. But there was no lightning and no rain. I heard it twice. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I keep saying that, right? I'm one of those people that keep saying, I'm going to sign off for now, and then I have something else to say. But I'm really going to sign off for now. Leave a comment down below, and have a great day.